Samuel Busby.
If I'm to be a doctor, I need to study modern science, not medieval witchery.
Science?
You see my thingy.
Oh, what's it called?
Menu.
It's going to take time to gain her trust. Perhaps I see a girl troubled with the things that she cannot speak of. We could share secrets.
Am I safe from prison?
Yes, we are all safe now. Remember, you mustn't tell anyone about this.
Perhaps Rosamond Calendar should be reminded of the son she cruelly gave away.
Would you consider an arrangement?
How about a tutor position?
This just arrived for you.
What is it?
It's a letter, you dummy.
Is everything all right, Hetty?
Everything's fine. It's from New York. It must be from Harriet.
Be sure to read it in your own time.
Oh no, your letter.
You did that on purpose.
That's slander, that is.
I hate you, Sheila Ormsby.
The feeling's mutual, Hetty Feather.
I know we'll never be the best of friends, but nothing could prepare me for what happened next. Sheila might be an annoying pest, but she was always capable of surprising me.
There's a joint of beef missing from that larder.
We cooked it on Friday.
I saw it with my own eyes, hanging there clear as day.
Gonna finish that? Jack.
Sorry, what?
Someone's away with the fairies. Lady Grenford has sent a card over announcing that she'll be lunching at the house today. I trust that won't be a problem.
Don't you worry, Mrs. Brodie. Got a nice joint of beef in that larder.
Very good. Now, get those breakfast trays ready. Mrs. Calendar will be taking hers in the bedroom. Mr. Calendar has already started work.
She's lucky she didn't get this on her head.
Hetty!
She snitched on Vince, remember?
Well, don't just sit there catching flies. We've got a lunch to prepare.
What am I supposed to do? Magic a joint of beef out of thin air? It's not funny.
It is funny.
The origin of species.
Oh. Good morning, Master Edwin. Miss Emily.
We've already studied Darwin.
Not like this, you haven't. Prepare yourselves. We're about to take a voyage on the HMS Beagle.
You seen Jack or Gideon?
They were in the kitchen having breakfast, sir.
Tell Brody to send them to my study immediately.
Do you think they're in trouble?
They won't be the only ones if Mrs. Calendar doesn't get her breakfast. And take that to her room. Hetty, then you need to say something. You can't just sit there gawping.
I just get tongue-tied.
I can see that.
So what would you do if you were me?
I'd give her a token of my affection, like a locket or something.
All my wages go to my family.
A flower, then. I'm sure Mr. Calendar can spare one in the name of love.
Love.
Mr. Calendar wants to see us in his study.
Do you think it's something to do with a broken lock?
I don't know, but we better get there sharpish.
Find me the Galapagos Islands. So when did your father meet your stepmother?
When we were in India.
Did you know much about her background before she joined your family?
I don't see what this has to do with Darwin's theory of evolution.
I think it's important to know where we all came from.
If you say so.
If we're sailing towards the Galapagos Islands, I think it's important to know what direction we're going. This globe is very small.
I'll get an atlas from the library.
You stay where you are. I'll fetch it.
Should we knock?
Who else is he supposed to know out here?
Enter. Ah. It would appear we have a thief in our midst. No, nothing significant. Just a few trinkets here and there.
It wasn't us, sir.
I know that, Gideon. I'd just like for you both to keep a lookout for any suspicious types loitering about, that's all. With any luck, we'll have this sorted before I have to involve the police.
Sick of clearing up Mrs. Whittock's mess. You know she burnt the pheasant the other day. If I hadn't found that bit of tongue, the Calendars would have gone hungry, and what thanks do I get?
Sheila.
They should sack her and make me cook.
You quite finished?
Mrs. Whittock, I was just
If you
saying...
want to keep your job, start shelling those bees. Remind me what we're doing again?
Preparing lunch for Lady Grenford, Mrs. Whittock.
That's right. Judy, fetch that joint of beef from the larder.
How many times? It's Sheila.
That's what I said.
And there's no joint of beef, that's why we're making game pie.
We are?
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir.
Don't worry, my mind was elsewhere.
Is everything all right, Mr. Buscombe?
Yes. I'm just trying to find my bearings.
The house can seem somewhat overwhelming, can't it? I shouldn't worry, you'll feel like one of the family in no time. You seem to be enjoying your letter.
It's from my friend Harriet. She's engaged.
And you don't approve?
I just don't see the point of that mushy stuff at my age.
That'll soon change, believe me.
How do you mean?
You're a fan of books, aren't you?
Very much.
It's about a woman called Elizabeth Bennet who meets the dark and brooding Mr. Darcy.
What happens?
They fight at first, but eventually they fall in love.
Is that it? Just a soppy love story?
Soon you're going to meet someone of your own. And perhaps, like Elizabeth Bennet, you'll fall in love too.
Love?
Who are you?
I'm Mr. Buscombe. I'm tutoring your brother and sister.
That's my mother's room.
Really? Duly noted.
Did you get lost?
It would seem so. Yes.
I can draw you a map of the house if you like.
That would be very helpful. Thank you.
Where's the flower?
Where's my bowl?
How many times have I told you about keeping this place tidy?
I was using it.
You should be shelling the peas.
I did that ages ago. You're supposed to be cooking them for Lady Grenford.
Lady Grenford? Nobody told me we was expecting guests.
Why do you think we've been slaving away?
You are such an insolent child. Wait till I tell your father.
What are you doing with those? Mrs. Whittock asked for them. Give it to me. Why? Because if lunch is ruined, we'll be the ones who end up in trouble. Oh, it's not her fault she's forgetful. If we didn't keep covering for her, she would have been gone months ago. So what are we gonna do? I'm gonna make sure we don't get caught out. By cooking something else? If she had it her way, we'd be serving Lady Grenford lumpy porridge. What if Mrs. Whittock ends up in trouble? She should be thanking us for saving her skin. Again.
How you girls getting on?
Don't worry, Mrs. Whittock. Everything's under control.
Hetty!
Me and Gideon have been put in charge of tracking down a thief.
Cracking down your teeth?
No, thief. The lock on the sunken greenhouse has been tampered with.
There's a thief in the greenhouse.
We'll soon catch him if he is. Hetty. I got you something. It's a flower.
I can see that.
I wonder if you might accompany me on a stroll of the gardens later, when we finished our duties.
So we can pretend to be detectives and track down the thief?
I was thinking more of a romantic walk.
Just you and me?
We can meet by the folly this evening.
Have you seen Mr. Buscombe?
Is he not in the tutor room?
He went to get an atlas and then just disappeared.
Perhaps Mr. Calendar wanted to talk to him.
About what?
Apparently there's a thief in Calendar Hall.
And you think it's Mr. Buscombe?
I never said that.
This is typical. Just when I get a tutor, he turns out to be a thief.
Mrs. Brodie, I trust Cook is fully briefed about lunch.
Yes, Mrs. Calendar.
There haven't been any more incidents I should know of.
It's all running smoothly.
That'll be Lady Grenford. Would you take her through to the drawing room, please? I just need to check on Constance.
I was beginning to wonder if we were going to be standing out here all day. Come along, Robert.
Mrs. Calendar will be down shortly.
And Miss Emily?
Miss Emily is very much looking forward to seeing you, Master Robert.
Not if he continues to slouch like a sack of potatoes. For goodness sake, straighten up.
Sorry, Grandmother.
Lady Grenford?
Have you managed to get anything out of the girl?
I'm still working on her.
You better be quick about it. It's not as if we can rely on Robert, is it?
It's this way, surely.
No, we'll end up in the Arctic with you in charge.
Or the Antarctic?
I made you a map in case you get lost again.
Lost?
I saw him upstairs.
I think you're mistaken.
Constance is always telling fibs.
It's not a fib, I saw him.
Constance, how many times have I told you about running away from the nursery maid? Now, apologise to Mr. Buscombe for interrupting his, lesson.
I will not.
Constance. Constance, you shouldn't.
I saw him. I really did.
No, really. My governor says she owes a lot of money.
You smell something. Take that in. It's telling me all about Lady Grenford's unpaid bills. Mrs. Brodie says you shouldn't gossip. Sheila?
I only left it an hour.
What did I tell you? I knew she'd mess it up.
What on earth is going on?
My goodbye is ruined.
But are you all right?
Never mind her. We have guests waiting upstairs.
I'm very sorry.
Sorry isn't going to magic up lunch for 7 people, is it?
I have some vegetable and marrow soup I could heat up and some guinea fowl for after.
Mrs. Whittock, you are to stand down.
But I'll need help getting everything ready.
I can't afford any more mishaps today.
I don't know what happened. I just get the mad one sometimes.
It happens to the best of us.
Will she be all right?
Mrs. Whittock has no one to blame but herself. Agnes, take up those shrimp croquettes and keep the guests occupied until Sheila's ready. You two, back out into the garden.
I didn't burn her stupid pie, did I?
Perhaps Robert might take Emily for a walk around the grounds whilst we're waiting.
If that's to your pleasing.
It's going to rain.
They could share George's umbrella.
Fine. Let Emily catch a cold and watch her nose swell to the size of a turnip.
Like an elephant.
Maybe Edwin is right. Perhaps another day. Cook set me up with some croquettes.
Is everything all right downstairs, Agnes?
Everything's fine.
wonder this family is a laughing stock.
So if you and Hetty get married, that'll make you my borrowed brother-in-law.
I'm gonna get my trowel. Is anyone there? Got ya! Freddie. It was you, wasn't it? Stealing from Mr. Calendar.
No.
You know, if they catch you, you'll end up in prison.
You're not going to turn me in, are you?
You're my brother, so if they come after you, they'll think I was in on it too.
What are we going to do?
I'm gonna put it back, of course.
How's we going to help Mother?
Not by stealing, that's for sure. If I find you anywhere near here again, you get more than a clip round the ear. Do you hear me? Right, get out of here before anyone else sees you.
If I don't have proper sustenance soon, I'm likely to be stricken with scurvy.
Perhaps I should check downstairs.
Lunch is now served in the dining room.
Oh, goodness me! The Battle of Waterloo took less planning, Robert.
Can't believe we did it. If it wasn't for me, the calendars would have gone hungry.
Lizzie told me what you did. Did you even think about Mrs. Whittock?
I was trying to stop her getting into trouble. She hasn't been right for months now. She just needs to learn my name's Sheila, not Judy.
You know her daughter was called Judy, don't you?
No. Where is she now?
She died of consumption. She must have been about your age.
That's awful.
Why don't I talk to Mrs. Brodie? Maybe she can help her.
Don't do that. She's just looking for an excuse to get rid of her. Come to think of it, that stove has been playing up for the past few weeks.
Has it now?
Maybe it was an accident.
If you say so.
What time is it? Mr. Calendar, you wanting his lunch.
You made it already, remember?
Did I?
Guinea fowl. Mrs. Calendar said it was your best meal yet. So why don't you just rest here and let me do the clearing up?
Mrs. Brodie.
You may take lunch with the others now, Agnes. I'll finish up here.
Yes, Mrs. Brodie.
Just to say that I've made appropriate arrangements.
Yes, Mrs. Calendar.
It's unfortunate, I know, but perhaps it's the kindest outcome for everyone.
I made you some labels. Bread, butter, sugar. This way you won't get muddled.
You're a good girl, Judy. I'm sorry I shouted at you.
I probably deserved it.
I didn't mean to get anyone into trouble.
You didn't. And besides, we stick together in this kitchen, don't we? Come on, let's make a start on tea.
Jack? Fetch the constable! This instant! Stop! Think!
I've seen everything now.
I thought it was high time I taught you how to make my piece pudding. Right, I'm going to need a saucepan, 2 eggs, 2 ounces of butter, salt and pepper. My mother taught me how to make this recipe, so you guard it with your life.
Mrs. Whittock, there's a carriage waiting outside to take you to Broadstairs.
I don't understand.
We think perhaps you'd be better off in the care of your sister.
You can't do that.
Agnes has packed your belongings. Your case is waiting outside.
But this house has been my entire life.
Mr. Calendar has kindly agreed to pay you until the end of the month.
This isn't fair. You have to give her another chance.
Please, Mrs. Whittock, don't make this any more difficult than it has to be.
I've had the happiest days of my life in this kitchen.
If you care to follow me.
Can't let her go. Hetty, stop her.
You're a snitch. You know that? First Vince and now this.
Unless you want to be the third servant dismissed today, then I suggest you cease with the histrionics.
The third?
Turns out, Jack is our thief. Mrs. Whittock.
Can't be.
Wait!
Inside this instant.
Please, I just want to say goodbye.
My little girl Judy was about your age, you know. I miss her terribly.
I'm sure she loved you very much.
You're a good girl,
No, I'm not. I'm a horrible person.
There's kindness in those eyes. One day, everybody will see what I see.
I have something for you. I know it was your favourite.
Here's my recipes, Sheila. For you.
Time we got going now.
Right.
never forgive you for this.
Mrs. Brody isn't to blame, Sheila. Mrs. Whittock hasn't been well for quite some time. I think she deserves a chance to have someone wait on her for a change, don't you?
If I've learned anything from today, it's that people can still surprise you. Who are you writing to?
Mrs. Whittock, I wanted to thank her for a peas pudding recipe.
That's not to say all surprises are good.
I know what I was meant to tell you.
What?
Lady Grenford. Butcher's boy said she's run out of money.
It seems everyone has their secrets. And there had to be more to Jack's story than meets the eye.
That boy's a scoundrel and a thief.
You don't know that, not for sure.
Trip to the fair, Mr. Bascom.
Come on! I've always fancied myself a festival queen.
Jack's hiding up behind the coconut shine. He's desperate.
Promise not to breathe a word.
Big mouth, you set me up.
Where are the children?
Big boy!